God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Welcome, dear friends, to the talks on St. Joseph. Now, I want to show this Joseph. You know, this Joseph is a sleeping Joseph. This is a wonderful statue that is ever present in the bedroom of Pope Francis. He says every time, this statue is there in my bedroom all the time, and whenever I have a request, I will write it in a piece of paper, my request, my concern. I will keep it on the lap of St. Joseph, and I will go to bed for sleeping, and he will do the things. Whatever necessary, he will speak with God and get it to me, and I have my good sleep. So, this is a wonderful portrayal. His sleeping position, because God revealed everything to St. Joseph while he was sleeping. So, it is not sleeping slumber, rather it is another kind of sleeping. So, I think most of you can have this one. So, this is available in all the places, in all the religious article center. Now, this time we are going to talk about another virtue of St. Joseph, that is St. Joseph, an obedient father. Obedience. Obedience is a great virtue, but difficult to practice in our lives. Every human person is endowed with individuality, freedom, aspiration and decision. Obedience calls for a life of long commitment, that is, a commitment to the life to do not one's own will, but God's will. So, that is in the life of St. Joseph it happened. It is not my will, but thy will be done. That is God's will and the will of the two other person, Mother Mary, Jesus. Jesus and their will became Joseph's will. That is the motto of extraordinary persons. Thy will be done. That is the motto of extraordinary people like Joseph and Jesus and Mary and the apostles and all innumerable galaxy of saints who lived. Thy will be done. So, Virgin Mary, in the Annunciation time, we have the reference in Luke 1:26-38. She declared fiat. The fiat. What is the word fiat? Let it be to me according to your word. That is fiat. Let it be to me according to your word. Here am I, the servant of the Lord. But now, when you come across St. Joseph, did he ever say, thy will be done in words? No, he did not speak. Rather, he did everything in action. So, St. Joseph had 4 dreams. In the 4 dreams, 4 commands. And the 4 commands means 4 actions. Dream, command and action. That is how we have to divide. That is how we divide. And you know it. I don't want to repeat because it will be a lengthy one. See, obedience of St. Joseph is not a slavish obedience. Oh, there is no other way, so let me accept it. Not in that way. No, it is a rather voluntary one, a willing one from the heart. He cooperated with the plan of God. The 4 of them you got. First one is take up, accept Mary as your wife. That is the thing. The second one, dream, take up the child and go to Egypt. And when they were in Egypt, again take up the child and come back to the Holy Land. And in the 4th dream, don't go to Bethlehem, rather go to the Nazareth. In all the places, that is the thing. And every time he says, take up. Every time this is a command, a dream and a command and action. Get up and take Mary. Take up and walk to Egypt. Get up and come back to Israel. Go and get settled in Nazareth. I am just synthesizing all the important events. So, when you go deeper and deeper, then we understand the mind and mood of St. Joseph. Wow, he had all the problems. Take up Mary means, that is, take up Mary and be a legal husband, legal father, and everything, and he had to sacrifice and sacrifice. There is a wife, but there is not he is not wife. There is a son, but no son. In that way, he had to sacrifice all his aspirations, all his plans in his life. Joseph's attitude was, yes boss, yes Lord, all the time. Yes boss, God is my boss, He is my Lord, and He is my everything. So I will obey. So Francis says in Patris Corde, in every situation, Joseph declared his own fiat like those of Mary at the Annunciation and Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. A wonderful analogy, isn't it? Mother Mary told fiat, and Jesus also in Gethsemane told to the cross, yes Lord, yes my Father. At the same time, in the same way, Joseph is declaring, yes, I will cooperate with the plan of God to take Mary and to take Joseph and to be an instrument in the work of salvation. So that is willingness. In public ministry, Jesus taught many things to his disciples, but in his childhood, my friends, you listen to this, in his childhood, he was a student to Joseph in the school of Joseph and Mary. You got it? Because Joseph has a school full of virtues, full of noble qualities, and our beloved Jesus was in the school of St. Joseph, to seeing them praying, seeing them how they are loving each other, seeing them how they are obedient to God the Father. So Jesus, being a human person as well, he learned everything from them. For Francis says, in his role as the head of the family, Joseph taught Jesus to be obedient to his parents. That is Luke 2:51. In accordance with God's command, that is Decalogue. Exodus 20:12, we have it, honor your father and mother. Honor your father and mother. Jesus became a man, so in that way he had to follow in word as well as in spirit, honoring the father and mother. Now, as we go further, during the hidden years in Nazareth, Jesus learned at the school of Joseph to do the will of the Father. That will was to be his daily food. Daily food. Can you recognize a passage wherein Jesus in his public ministry saying, my food is to do the will of my Father? That is John chapter 4 verse 34, Samaritan woman's episode. Even at the most difficult moment of his life in Gethsemane, Jesus chose to do the Father's will rather than his own will. As St. Paul puts it, obedient unto death, even death on a cross. That is Philippians 2:8. Obedient unto death, death on a cross. All this makes it clear, my friends, that St. Joseph was called by God to serve the person and the mission of Jesus directly through the exercise of his fatherhood, and that in this way he cooperated in the fullness of time in the great mystery of salvation and is truly a minister of salvation. That is the quote by St. John Paul II, Apostolic Exhortation Redemptoris Custos, given on the 15th August 1989. Redemptoris Custos means guardian of the year. Now we come to the practical application, my friends. The virtue of obedience in our lives, not saying is a term, but virtue. Is it easy for us or is it difficult for us to obey? As citizens, we have to obey the government laws. As children, we have to obey our parents. As married couples, we have to obey our spouses. As students, to the teachers. As employees, to the bosses. Yes, in all of our life situations, we have to obey. As religious, we take up or you take up obedience. At the time of religious profession or ordination, there is a query. Do you promise obedience to me and to my successor or ecclesiastical authorities? The answer of the candidate, yes, I do. Yes, I do. That is irrevocable obedience, indivisible. We obey. Every time we obey the order, we obey the transfer order every time. Not because it is given to us, because that is the vow we have taken in front of God. We obey and we follow. It is not easy, but that is the way. It was not easy for Joseph or Mary or Jesus to obey all the time the commands of God the Father, but they obeyed because they had a higher value, higher plan and the motive. In our lives too, we have to say all the time, thy will be done. Only then we have got peace of mind and the edification for others. Can we follow? Can we try? Yes. Obedience is virtue. We follow Jesus in that way. Yes, my friends, take care and God bless you. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good.